Matthew 18:12. What's your opinion? What will somebody do who has 100 sheep and one of them wanders away? Won't he leave the 99 of the hillside on the hillsides and go off to find the stray? And if he happens to find it, yes, I tell you, he is happier over it than over the 99 that never strayed. Thus your Father in heaven does not want even one of these little ones to be lost. We've all heard this parable so many different times about the parable of the lost sheep, and it's probably because it's a generalization of how God in heaven feels about every single last one of us. So many different times, and there's so many different parables that support this parable. For example, the parable of the man who the righteous man, the saint who went to worship God, and the sinner who came to worship God. The sinner, once he came to worship God, he said, Lord, I'm a sinner. I know that I do not deserve your love. And I know that there's so many different sins I've committed. And I oftentimes fall short of what you need me to be. The saint came to God and said, God, I'm a saint. I'm so much better than this man over here who was an obvious sinner. And Jesus said that while he sat on the boat, he said that the person that God would actually have received better, the person who would have made it to heaven more likely, would not have been the saint who was doing everything he was supposed to be doing in God's eyes, except for his judgment on his brother. It would have been the sinner who came and said, Jesus, forgive me, for I know I am a sinner. Please receive me and forgive me for my sins. And this is just another example in a supporting parable of the parable of the lost sheep, because for the parable of the lost sheep, he's pretty much saying that out of 100 sheep, 99 of them did what they were supposed to be doing. 99 of them were saints. 99 of the sheep were exactly where they were supposed to be, and they were following in line, and they were exactly where I asked them to be, and they were doing exactly what I asked them to do, as opposed to the one sheep who wandered off, got himself lost, and did not know what he was doing. But I left 99 saints, or 99 sheeps in this instance, to go find that one sheep who wandered off and lost his way, because that one sheep was more valuable than the 99 good ones. Why? Because those 99 good ones, while they're doing what they're supposed to do, and they're exactly where they're supposed to be, and I appreciate that, I still don't want to lose that one. I cannot lose that one. I need every single last one of you. That's how desperate he is to love us, protect us, and be there for us no matter how far off the path we may wander. And to me, my whole life, I've been, this parable I've always loved, because I felt to myself that I oftentimes can be either, if not outcasted, I oftentimes can be distracted, and I oftentimes can be curious enough to wander off the path that I'm supposed to be on. And the Lord is always there, getting me exactly back to where I need to be. The Lord is always there, guiding me out of the darkness back into the light where I'm meant to be and stay. And if it were not for his willingness to leave the rest of the 99 sheep in order to get that one lost sheep back where that one lost sheep is supposed to be, I would never have made it. I would never have survived. And I'm so sure that this is true for so many of us. And that is the reason why this parable is so important and just so popular and so loved, because it speaks the story of so many of us in just one simple parable. It comes down to 99. There's 100 of us, and 90. And most people, or people who are not like God, because His way is not our way. People who are not like Him, or some people, they would stay and they would lose that one sheep in order to save 99. But He is the good shepherd. He won't lose not even one. He'll risk the 99 for just the one. And that's the Lord. That's the God we serve. So it's comforting. So many times when you think, well, it doesn't matter if I'm doing this, or it doesn't matter if I'm going to do that, or there's no way that I matter in this world full of so many different people who are doing better, who are doing more, who are capable of more, who are every single day being more and being the best they can be and shooting for the stars, when I fall short of God's love, of God's grace, and of even my own capabilities on a daily basis. And it's so comforting to know that God still sees you no matter what. It doesn't matter if you're falling short. It doesn't matter if you're imperfect. It doesn't matter if you sin every day. It doesn't matter if you sin right after you ask for forgiveness for a sin, because that is our nature, and God knows that, and he loves us anyway. Because he was tempted by this world, yet he still overcame it in perfection, never sinning, not once. But he knows what it feels like to be tempted. So therefore he understands why we do everything that we do, no matter who you are, what you've done. And he's so supportive. So while you're sitting there telling yourself you're not good enough, or you're not willing, you're not going to make it, you're not going to be able to finish that line, you're not going to be able to make it to that finish line or cross over to where everyone else is sitting and waiting and thriving, the Lord is right there pushing you no matter what you're doing, whether you're crawling, walking, or running. He's right there with you every step of the way, and he's making sure you get there, no matter how many people or how many sheep he have that are already doing exactly what he needs them to do. He's still right there with you, getting you to where you need to be. Never think that I'm too much of a sinner, or I'm not good enough for the Lord to get me over there. And the fact of the matter is, it's not easy for him. That's one thing that I've always realized, and I've always thought about my entire life. For the Lord our God to be as amazing and mysterious and powerful, and everything that he has in heaven, he has everything. He has all the golds, all the riches. He's powerful. He can do whatever he wants to do, but instead he allows himself to sink down to be a lowly shepherd, just a simple shepherd. If you know what a shepherd of sheep is, it's someone who works long, dangerous hours and risks their lives for sheep. And it's not easy. It's hard work. The sheep, they often wander off. They don't know where they're going, but they know the shepherd. They listen to the shepherd. It's like following blindly. The sheep have to follow blindly. They often can't even eat on their own. He has to guide them 24/7, every step of the way. He's right there guiding them, and he's doing it with love, because that's what a good shepherd does. A good shepherd lays his life down for the sheep. And that's the main point that I'm trying to get to. The Lord, he's so loving. It's just so, it's such a, the word I'm looking for is, it's obvious. It's a great example of the Lord's character, because while he has everything, while he has all the power and strength and able to do anything he wants to do in the world, the only thing he wants to do is save us. The only thing he wants to do is help us. The only thing he wants to do is love us. He's so desperate to love us that he makes himself the lowliest. He becomes the servant. He becomes the shepherd. He becomes the hardest worker. He does everything we're not capable of doing for us, and he just lays his life down for us, no matter how many times we stray, no matter how many times we sin, no matter how many, it feels like in our eyes, unforgivable sins we commit. He forgives us. He's always there to save us. He never turns his back on us. It doesn't matter if we turn our back on him. He's always there to save us and protect us and help us. And there's just never no excuse why we should not accept his love, why we should not be right there with him accepting his love. But even all the excuses we have in the world, he's still there accepting us, loving us, and forgiving us no matter what. And with that being said, I also want to talk about how the Lord, excuse me, I have to find it. But with that being said, I also want to talk about how, excuse me. Oh, and the Lord is always the same. He's never changing. So there's no reason for us ever to believe any lie from the enemy saying that that the Lord is not who he said he was before, or that the Lord is not always The Lord's not always there being exactly who you need him to be at all times, no matter what. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. So